Hi everyone, Heather Lisle here. Thank you so much for joining me today. This week's episode is about making decisions, and I'm just going to title it by saying, do you prefer Skippy or Jif? The other day I was at the grocery store getting the basics that I needed to have on hand for the kids, and I was looking for the peanut butter aisle and kind of in a bit of a hurry as well too. I found the aisle, and there in front of the peanut butter section was this woman who was looking for peanut butter. And, I was trying to be polite and give her a few seconds to pick up whatever she needed. And what was a few moments turned into a few minutes. And then I finally was like, hey, I just need to grab my container of Jif and get on about my way. And she quickly and politely moved aside and let me grab my peanut butter and whatnot. And then I went and grabbed a couple of other items. And I was going back down the aisle to go check out at the store. And I noticed that she was still there looking at the peanut butter. And, my heart just sunk for her because the decision of picking out peanut butter was paralyzing for her. And it just got me to thinking about what else more is going on in this woman's life. I know it sounds silly to think that it'd take more than a moment to pick out a container of peanut butter. But for some people, small decisions just take such mental energy because they're likely overwhelmed by a lot of other big decisions that are going on in their life. And quite frankly, what other people might think of them if they make the wrong choice. I know that as a working mom, I can't tell you how many times I've questioned if I'm a good mom by the decisions that I've made in my life. Everything from the decision of working late on a project at the office to just this past weekend at Central Market. My kids desperately wanted to make a gingerbread house with all of the candy trimmings. They had this huge display up. And, seriously, I stood there thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I don't need another mess to clean up. And I don't really want to do this at all. And at the same time, there were a couple of other moms, who were oohing and awing with their kids over the candy and the icing and what to make and all of that fun stuff and what candy that their kids wanted to pick out for the gingerbread houses. And quite honestly, I stood there and I just didn't care. I'm just being honest here. That was the last thing that I really wanted to go do. And many times I've been way too concerned about what other people would think if I did X while everybody else was doing Y. Really, why should I care if the moms at Central Market thought I was a bad mom for not oogling over the gingerbread houses, right? Rachel Hollis is one of my favorite podcasters, and she has often said, if you're experiencing anxiety, my question for you is, who are you trying to please? And that's so true. I think about that a lot. Sometimes our decision-making process is interrupted by anxiety and the endless need to people please, right? I was reading some research today from the Journal of Neuroscience about how anxiety works to disengage the part of our brain responsible for rational decision-making, or in other words, the prefrontal cortex. Essentially, anxiety steamrolls any ability we may have to make sound, good decisions. So what do you need to do to get your anxiety and people-pleasing under control in order to make good decisions? And I've got 3 thoughts I'd like to share. Number 1, be mindful. Really stop to think about what's making you feel the way that you feel. Are you making decisions based on what your friends think or what is best for you in your own life? Focus on those things that matter and spend a lot of time thinking through all of that. This is also the time to think about, purpose in life. What makes your heart on fire, and are you doing those things to accomplish that? If not, that can add to the clutter in your life, making it really hard to make simple decisions as well. Number 2, be self-aware. It is crazy hard looking at yourself in the mirror and thinking about your own stuff and your own struggles and what you need to do to be better. I know that for me, I have to slow down, self-assess, and make myself very aware of my surroundings and what's going on around me. And when I stop the doing and that, proverbial hamster on the wheel just consistently running for nothing, and I start thinking, I'm giving myself power over my feelings and how I react to others. And number 3, make a choice. Just because you've made one choice doesn't mean you can't course correct if it ends up being the wrong one. Don't let the hundreds of simple decisions that we all have to make on a daily basis hamstring your ability to make those bigger decisions later. Our brains only have so much capacity, but here's the deal, not making a decision is making a decision. So clear the clutter with the small stuff so you've got the clarity for the big stuff. And by all means, if you're truly struggling, go talk to a professional. There's nothing wrong with needing help. We all should be doing a little bit more of that in the first place anyway. Life is crazy, so many decisions to make, but those decisions don't need to be tied to what other people think. It's your life. You're the one who's in the ring fighting the good fight on a daily basis. Get clear on your purpose and the things that matter to you. And I found that that really helps me to be able to get clear and make decisions quickly, both at home and at the office. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. And I hope to see you next week. And thank you. I'm so blessed to have you joining me this week too. All right. Have a great one. Bye.